Let's go.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our Thursday AMA. Today we're going to be talking about a few things regarding pretty much the entire ecosystem, and then we're going to be doing a wheel for the Burnathon people that we were supposed to do on Monday, which got postponed since Monday's AMA got postponed to today. But we'll do it in a different order today. We also have a Reddit now, which I'm going to be going through a bunch of questions that people had posted on Reddit too. By the way, guys, Reddit is going to be like a big opportunity for us to be able to grow this community. So if you don't have a Reddit account, please go make a Reddit account, join the Shibadoge Reddit, ask some questions, answer some questions. Just even if you guys want to share like cool stories or whatever, let's do it. Let's get this Reddit popping. We almost have 100 members in there in less than a day. So pretty nice growth. I could see it being like one of the bigger platforms where people can actually educate themselves and have a timeline of events and things that occurred throughout the entire lifespan of our project. So definitely a cool way to keep track of everything. Firstly, I'm going to share something in the chat right now. So if you're not looking at the chat, I apologize, but we'll talk through it right now too. There it is. Okay. So we shared this photo yesterday. I'm sharing it again right now. So this is not how the UI is going to work. This is just something that we put together on like a keynote, just real quick. But the reason why we put this together is because I wanted to go into a bit of detail as to what you're looking at and what to expect and how this is going to be pretty much introduced here in the next
Um,
coming like week or two.
sorry, Leo.
Go ahead.
You sent that to
Yeah, go
me.
ahead.
You sent that to me.
Oh, shoot, my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah,
I'm still on the. Okay.
yeah. You're still
All
on
right.
it.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. All right. There we go. All right. So now it's in the main chat. Okay. So like I said, this is something that we just, really quickly put together on Keynote just to kind of like showcase some of the features of like customization. Um, Obviously, as you can see, there's two, four, six, there's 8 different traits currently that you can be able to equip and unequip items to. I think there's 9 actually too, because of the whale chain, which is not showcased here, but I might have some iterations of this with the whale chain and some other of some of the other existing EFTs right now too, which I'll look through my deck right now, and if I can find it, I'll post it. But anyway, so we'll go into some of these traits, right? Obviously, you could see like the hair has its own personal like image, the eyes do, the fur does, the mouth does. So pretty much each of these items that you're looking at right now on the right side, they're all EFTs. Those are all pretty much their own NFT. They're an equipable NFT, and as you can see, they're equipped to this specific NFT, right? So you have the fur, which is like robot arms and the bluish fur. You have the mohawk hair. You have the green laser eye, not laser eye, but the lit up eyes, let's call it. What's so cool about this is, for example, let's say the hair in the future, we add a ability where it's like, hey, if you have this hairdo, you get a 0.25 multiplier on, the game or that we introduce or an event that we introduce or for whichever trait, right? So that there's all kinds of cool different opportunities for us to introduce different types of abilities and effects with these EFTs. Um, the thing is also that you can unequip all of these EFTs, and you'd be left with like a base model Shibadoge, which would pretty much every base model Shibadoge is going to be different, right? There's going to be like different bloodlines. There's going to be different base like uh, traits, right? That obviously will get covered up when you do have like a equipable equip, like the equipable would replace the base trait. And the coolest part about this is like the things that we're looking at right now. There's over 200 and I believe over 205 different customization items, customizable items as of right now. That number is obviously going to be a lot higher in the future as we release more things, right? So it's going to launch with 205. So when you breed, there's a plethora of different items that your Shiba Doge can get. And that's the beautiful thing about like the breeding when it happens. You might get like one of the absolute most rarest equipable item just by breeding, right? Obviously, like that's when the higher ranks are going to come into effect. So like if you breed a higher rank, you're going to have a slightly higher chance of getting a rare EFT, even though you could still get it with just breeding two of the lowest ranks together, right? We're going to make it we're going to make it so that obviously the higher ranks have a little bit of a higher chance. But to be fair to everyone, we are keeping it so that even if you have two of the lowest ranks and you breed them, you're still going to have a chance to get the rarest stuff. These are not going to be included into the crates. The crates are going to be completely different, right? So we have 205 customizable items that are going to be launching with the Shibadoge bread NFTs, and then we're also going to have an additional like 22 or 26 different items that are going to be launching in the EFT crates, which we're going to be releasing too. The EFT crate, the EFT. Hold on, I'm getting text messages. I got to turn off my notifications. I'm sorry. 1 second. There we go. Okay, so the EFT crate items are going to be complete different collection, right? Not that they're going to be a different collection, but you're not going to be able to get them out of just breeding. So they're going to be exclusively coming out of those crates. Each crate is going to reveal into one NFT, EFT, and you can equip those on and off to your Doge Army, your Shiba Doge NFTs. The beautiful thing about the crates is that's going to be obviously a free mint, which we're going to be introducing. And anybody who actually minted a Shiba Army NFT this week, which we actually passed 8K mints, which is amazing, is actually guaranteed to get a free mint for each mint that they made. They'll get a free crate. Obviously, if you're a burn card holder too, you'll get 5 of them. We're going to airdrop all those, so you don't have to claim or connect your wallet to anything. So be careful of DMs. You're not going to ever have to go into claim those airdrops. We'll just send them to you guys when the crates release. We're aiming to have the crates and breeding out by this month, followed by staking releasing early March. So on the 27th of this month, which is 11 days from now, I'll be hosting a staking season 3 AMA in here, where we'll pretty much go into full detail on what to expect for season 3. Little spoiler that I'll have for you guys is season 3 is probably going to be a longer season, which is what you guys want. We've been listening to what people have been saying, so it will be a bit longer. And we're actually going to be aiming to do longer seasons moving forward. So expect to see some tweaks and stuff happen in the future. Maybe not in this season, but in future seasons, we do want to make some changes and make it more easier for people to stake, unstake, make more we want it to make more sense for people to stake, right? So, for example, people have been hitting us up, like asking us about the gas fees and this and that. So right now we're working on different alternatives as to how we can get the staking done with minimal to zero gas fees. So we have our devs working on different alternatives on that. So hopefully by like season 4 or 5, the latest, we can introduce that. Obviously, with the longer seasons, it'll make things a little bit how could I say it, better, I guess, more convenient for people, because they won't have to unstake and stake more as often. But we're excited, man. We're very excited for what the future holds for staking, right? We're calling it staking, but at the end of the day, like, it's a way for you to interact with your NFT and put it to work for you, right? Like you own that NFT. That NFT is not just a picture that you have; it's something that you can actually utilize to do something for you. Um, Eventually, we want to get to a point in the later seasons where you don't just like simply put your NFT in a contract and just earn tokens. We want it to be to a point where it's like you put your NFT in a contract. You obviously you still get like tokens, but you also interact with it in different ways, whether that's metaverse or whether that's gaming or whether that's a new thing that comes out in the next 3 to 6 months that doesn't exist yet. I don't know, but we do know that we want to evolve the way that you interact with your NFTs, and we do know like there are a lot of different ways that you could do that. We're finding a lot of inspiration by a lot of new projects that are coming out too. Don't get me wrong, we're doing a lot of market research as to like what people are into, the new fads, the new things that work, the new things that stand out. So we are taking inspiration from the development of like new things that are being introduced, but we also have our own plan, and we were trying to make that into a reality. Obviously we want this to become like the whole media thing, to a point where we're globally recognized and everybody knows what we are, to a point where the ecosystem is thriving, where people are like, you've missed out if you don't own item from the Shibadoge Labs ecosystem, right? So I think it's going to be a pretty powerful movement as the staking seasons progress, and as different rewards are introduced in the future, and different collabs are introduced in the future. Right now we're experimenting with like all kinds of different things, and we're trying to see like what fits, what works, what doesn't work. Pretty much season 3 staking is all set and done. We know exactly what we want to do. We know exactly uh, pretty much everything that the contract is done. It's ready to be deployed. Like literally, we could launch it immediately right now if we wanted to. But we're not going to do that because we're sticking to our plan. We're making sure that we can get the breeding up first, the crates up, and then the staking. So that's what's going to happen, and like I said, our timeline is looking towards early March. Obviously, I know a lot of people are excited for that. But if you're listening to this and you've participated in season 1 or season 2 and you haven't claimed your rewards, like don't forget that you still have those rewards, right? There's like 2 sextillion tokens still in the season 1 staking contract that people haven't claimed yet. Like that's been dispersed already and is waiting for people to go in and claim it. I mean, I'm wondering if people just forgot they staked their NFTs, or they just like are on vacation and never have gotten back to claiming it, or it might just be people who have lost access to their wallets, people who have gotten hacked or whatever. I don't know, but there's still about 2 sextillion tokens in season 1. I haven't even checked how many are in season 2, but go claim your tokens, guys. This is what we do this for, right? We don't want to just waste tokens for people to not claim them. What's up, Roof? You had something to say?
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. I thought I heard you say something, bro. My bad.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Okay, let's
Louis,
see.
just a quick question on that stake in season 3. I know
Yep.
it's going to be a bit longer, but is it going to be diluted in terms of rewards because it's going to be longer, or are we kind of going to keep it the same format?
No, it's more than likely going to just be like prorated. That we did fix a few of the different things that were supposed to happen in season 1, season 2, which would have been like, you have to have a pair to get the burn token. That was something that was supposed to happen in season 2, which we didn't actually include in there. So anybody who staked, whether they had a Doge army or a Shiba army, if it wasn't paired up, they still received the burn token anyway. But now that's fixed. So in season 3, that will already be in effect. So yeah, for some people, I guess they will get less rewards if they don't have a pair, right? But that's how it was originally supposed to be. It's just we didn't have it implemented into the first contract. So
Oh, okay. No, I was just meaning in terms of the rewards of how many coins are we going to be getting per NFT.
Yeah, so on the 27th, I'll release a spreadsheet, which pretty much
Mhm.
just like we did season 2, and you'll be able to get all your information on that. Well, hopefully, I can do it
Awesome.
before the 27th, but yeah, we'll have an AMA on that in 11 days, and we'll have pretty much the whole breakdown, the whole spiel on what to expect. Can someone drop the link for season 1 staking? Yeah, I'll drop the link right now, bro. Give me 1 second. I'll post it in the main Telegram.
Top secret. You need to claim your 2 sextillion, man. Just claim them. What are you waiting for?
I'm just holding it in there, bro. Just safekeeping
And
it,
it's
man.
fine. I mean,
Hey, it's
nothing,
okay. You
nothing.
don't need to claim it. Just send it to Johnny Utah. He won't care. I promise.
Oh man, that's 2 sextillion. Wow, that is
Yeah,
big.
man, that's like almost it's half a max wallet.
Yeah.
You can tell Sonny's very quiet there. He's probably like saving it. He's the only like diamond hander in here. Sonny, it's yours, bro.
I'm manifesting.
We did lose a bunch of people to hackers, man, throughout the past year. Like so many people like got hacked and lost their NFT. Like not just in our community, but everywhere, man. Like these scammers and hackers, they're pretty crazy, dude. Like the amount of effort these people put into it amazes me. Freaking
Yeah,
dirtbags.
definitely, man.
I'm sure there's some scammer guaranteed listening into this call right now and just like, rubbing his hands together like, oh yeah, I can't wait to, to message someone after this, pretend to be Leo on the
Right.
roof or someone. And, yeah.
Kid cat.
Yeah, and they'll be like, can you just fill this form and just put your seed phrase in? And then they're like, okay, sure, no problem. Here you go. There's my seed phrase.
I get it when people fall for that, like the first time or
Yeah.
well, not even, right? Like obviously with all the like we warn people like at least 100 times a day, but regardless, if you're a newbie and you don't have like, much invested and you're kind of careless about it, maybe it's like $30, $20, whatever, and you just, you risk it to see if, there is something and you get hacked, you should learn from that. But there are people who like, there's this one guy, I know you guys probably remember his name. I don't remember his name. He was a part of our community. He was a whale. He lost like 30 grand, dude. And he tried blaming everyone besides himself. Like you guys have to take accountability. Don't get scammed. Like
Right.
The first thing it says, yeah. The first thing it says when you create a wallet on MetaMask says, "Do not ever share the seed phrase with anyone."
Right.
That's literally the first thing,
Yeah. When I
I don't know.
created my wallet the first time, that's exactly what I saw. It said, "Do not share this seed phrase," and I think it was in red. And
Yeah.
I was like, "What the hell's a seed phrase?" Like I was still learning at that time, but still I knew that. I realized it's that code that they're giving me, and it says never share it. And yeah, I've had scammers contact me after that, and I never shared it. I was like, "Why do you
Yeah.
need my seed phrase?" You know?
My biggest problem, well, not problem, but mistake that I've made when I was getting into Web3 is I wrote down all of my seed phrases because I made a bunch of different wallets. Like for some reason I had like a Ripple wallet, I had a Trust wallet, I had a MetaMask, I had like all kinds of different wallets. I was really heavy into Helium, HNT. I'm sure you guys heard about that, but anyway, you have to have a separate wallet for that. So this was before everything was like, integrated into one place. And I wrote all these seed phrases down and then I put all of them away in my safe, but I didn't write down which wallet is which. So like when I had to like recover a wallet or like, log into a new device, I literally have to go through all of them. But thankfully I haven't had to do that yet. But I do know when I get new devices and stuff, it's going to be kind of annoying. So be organized, write down your stuff in on paper, and don't store it online, because man, if it's online, even though
Yeah.
you don't share it anywhere, the chance of you getting hacked is like a lot higher than if you were to just write it on a piece of paper, tuck it away under your bed or whatever. No
Yeah.
one's gonna figure out what that is.
I think the problem is, Leo, is a lot of people on these iPhones and whatnot, they kind of screenshot it and then it automatically gets sent to the cloud.
Mm-hmm.
Do not
Yep.
do it, guys. You guys don't realize everything that you capture is going to the cloud if it's actually connected. So
Yep.
just be careful out there.
So my buddy that I went to school with this guy, and I met up with him to have a lunch like a few months ago, and we were talking, and he owns a phone store. Or I don't think he owns it. I think he's like a manager at it, like a phone repair store. They fix iPhones and Androids and all this, mumbo jumbo. And he had to fire an employee because this employee, people bring their phones to get like their screen fixed or whatever, and they give the worker their passcode so the worker could test, to make sure everything works after he repairs the phone, make a call or whatever. The worker was going through people's phones, and since he had the code, most phones you could access their MetaMask with the code or the password to the phone. So this guy was going in there and he was getting people's seed phrases and like all kinds of other personal information. And, man, the risk of like yeah, bro. And imagine that's one place. Imagine how many different places do that. Like even Apple employees, bro, like you can't even trust them. At the end of the day, yeah, it's Apple, but the employee has its own mind and it's his own like his own will. Like if he wants to do something
because
bad,
at the same time they can just back up that phone and you don't even realize they're backing up your whole data.
Exactly.
How many of you are going to give your social security number and your mom's maiden name and your birthday tip to just random people? Like no one's going to do that, because that's like common knowledge and common sense. No, you don't do that. But the seed phrase is the exact same fudging thing, and it's crazy how often we get scammed with this stuff. It's nuts. Well, that's my 2 cents. Sorry.
Yeah, man. I mean, bro, after talking to my buddy and after him telling me that, I realized I'm like, okay, like even if my laptop is giving me issues and I have to take it to Apple to get it looked at or fixed or whatever, I'm just clearing everything off of it. Factory reset, erasing the drives. Let them fix it like that, or I'll just throw it in the trash and buy a new computer. I don't care. But I'm not going to trust.
Bro.
Yeah.
All my
I'm not going to trust someone going through my
iPhone
shit.
3, man. I've never swapped or given it to anyone. I've just kept them and then just bought new ones and then just keeping my devices safe.
It's crazy because like if people get your personal information, not even your seed phrase, man, like screw the seed phrase, right? Some people have like, not a lot of money in their crypto wallets, but if someone gets your like personal information, it could be as worse as you losing $1 million of Bitcoin, right? They could ruin your life like instantaneously.
Yeah, my brother, they found his information. I don't know how they found it. I think they found it in the bin or whatever. And they ended up taking a loan out in his name, man. That was like, I'm talking a long time ago. I'm talking like 15 years ago. But they managed to go to the bank with that information and somehow get a loan. In his name.
There's so many different kinds of fraudsters out there like that. I actually know a few people who used to do operations like that, right? Like I don't know them like that personally, but I just know of them. Like these people would pretty much like they would just do like identity fraud, and then I mean, it's like crazy how easily accessible it is for someone to let their guard down for 1 second, and there's like credit card skimmers, there's like the RFID readers, like someone could just pass by you with one of those and extract your information out of your phone without you even knowing what happened, right? Like there's some crazy tech out there, dude. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, Yep, definitely. They got the heat sensors and everything on them, the scanners.
Yep.
Like literally, they can see your pin number. I mean, they'll watch you press the pin, and they'll come over it with a heat scanner, and then they can see like what numbers you pressed. You know?
Yep. There was actually like this one scam that was exposed to a couple of years ago. I read about it. So this company started making money counters, right? Like you just put cash inside, it counts how many bills there are.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So they started creating those, and they had a little Wi-Fi chip in there that connected to Wi-Fi. Like it had a little SIM card. It was always connected to a network, and it relayed information, right? But they didn't know that exists in the money counter. So what these people who were manufacturing and selling these money counters were doing is, anytime a large amount of money was being counted, a ping would be sent like, yo, hey, these people accounted just $2 million in cash, or 2,000 bills, or whatever. I don't know exactly how they were doing it. And they were like literally going and robbing these people because they knew exactly where the location is. They were GPS pinpointing it. They knew exactly how much money was there. It's pretty crazy, dude. Like the amount of effort that people go into.
That's crazy, man.
It's nuts. Yeah,
Wow.
bro, it
At
really
the end
is.
of the day,
It's
just be safe for what you do, guys. Just be safe.
100%, man. 100%. And just do things. Yeah, you got to do things ethically, man. So you're never looking over your shoulder either. The worst thing is,
Leo, just to be, because we've got a big community as well. Like, yes, we are all family in here, and everyone, seems friendly and whatnot. But just at the same time, just yes, we can all be trustworthy, but just do not trust us, if regardless who we are.
exactly,
guys. So.
exactly. That's the beautiful thing about Web3, man, is like everybody is on their own, but they're not on their own. You get what I'm saying? It's like we're all together, but at the end of the day, the only person who has your back and your safety and security is you. If you're not able to keep yourself safe and secure online, I'm not going to be able to help you. Top Secret's not going to be able to help you. Roof isn't going to be able to help you. Nobody can help you. You have to be your own like lifeline when it comes to this. Like there's a lot of learning opportunity, and there's a lot of growth opportunity, and a lot of opportunity to make a lot of money. But you have to play your cards right. You have to play them safe, and you have to make sure that you're thinking one step ahead at all times. You check all those boxes, you'll be fine. But you get caught slipping once, and it could be game over. Like, we just saw it happen to Kevin Rose, which he's one of the biggest names in crypto. He lost like $2 or $3 or $4 million, or even more. I don't know exactly the number, but millions of dollars worth of NFTs. Could happen to anybody.
Yeah, and
Pretty nuts.
some people have contacted me asking me like for some kind of customer service, man. I'm like, what customer service? Like MetaMask customer service? I'm like, there's no such thing. Like
yeah, there's no such thing.
It's not a bank where you can just contact them, and that's what they're thinking.
And I will say,
yeah,
that is the downside. That is the downside of this industry, man. That there isn't a place where you could get like actual support without it actually being some random dude in a third world country trying to scam you. That's the downside of crypto. Once they could fix that, and once they can figure out a system that works, where it can be implemented throughout the pretty much the entire board, then we'll be in the perfect situation for crypto. I feel like AI is going to be the best customer support for crypto, because AI is literally going to just be programmed to give you the right information every single time, no matter what. If they could get AI to be good enough, I mean, I'll take an AI over some random dude that's reading a script any day.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're doing some things towards AI, right?
We are. We're experimenting with a few different things. We've actually built a few things too. I mean, nothing that's like crazy presentable, or nothing that's impressive. Like, we're not even impressed with it. But what we've done is we were actually just familiarizing ourselves with how to build with it. and how we can actually utilize, GPT-3 and the upcoming GPT-4 into, into our project and our ecosystem. So there's a lot of opportunity, man, and there's a lot of possibilities. And I think the projects who are going to be most successful in the future are going to have a AI implementation, and they're going to have some sort of AI in their ecosystem.
Yeah.
I personally think AI is going to be probably the most valuable sector in the world, just because of how massively adopted it's going to be, right? I mean, some analysts are claiming that it's going to be worth like trillions and trillions of dollars, which it sucks because it's like it's taken away people's brain power, and it's taken away people's jobs too. But I mean, we already knew that. But it's taken away people's creativity. For one moment, when like Chat GPT just came out, it sucked the creativity out of me, because like when everybody at one point was tinkering with it and playing with it nonstop. And I remember everything that crossed my mind, I would just plug it into Chat GPT, and then after like a few hours, I just sat there and I'm like, wow, I can't not get creative right now. I can't think of anything, because I just immediately default to like, oh, hey, why would I think of it? Let me just type it in to Chat GPT, and it'll tell me exactly what I want to know. So that's the downside, but I mean, shit, it's so valuable, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean that bot that TD made. I asked it like which crypto, like, just give me an example of like what cryptocurrencies need to do in the future to grow, and the AI told me that it needs to have AI implemented in it. Can you believe that?
Really? Did it really tell you that? That's funny.
Bro. Yeah, it's like it said you need to have AI. If you want to succeed, you need to have AI.
That's funny.
And I'm like, shit, man, that's crazy.
And that's the thing is that all of this AI stuff that you're seeing right now is ran on GPT-3, which is the same thing Chat GPT is built off of. It's kind of similar. It's not the same thing. Chat GPT is a little bit more advanced, but it's very, very similar to GPT-3, which is like an AI engine. Now, next year, they're going to release, or probably even this year, they're going to release GPT. It's such a tongue twister. GPT-4,
Right?
And that's going to be, I think they were saying like 1,000 times smarter than GPT-3. So imagine if you were the smartest person in the world right now, and you're on top of the world, you're literally the smartest person in the world, and then the next day you wake up and there's somebody 1,000 times smarter than you. That's pretty much how powerful that thing is going to be, where I think it's going to be trained off of like 1 trillion different parameters, where GPT-3 was trained off of like 1 million or 100,000 parameters. So it's obviously a huge gap, but I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. I mean, a lot of crazy stuff has been happening in the world. I mean, I don't know if it has to do with this AI stuff or not, but like, there was like a whole chain reaction of train derailments that happened in the US this week. And you got all these UFOs in all kinds of different places in the world. It's kind of weird. Like at first I didn't care, and I was like, whatever, this is nothing. Like, it's just, media. But then I was like, yeah, it's just noise, right? And I was thinking about it, I was like, no, that's the thing though. They're feeding people this information, and they're getting people to like talk about it and focus on it. But if you're smart,
in the bottom, they're fixing the financial problem, bro. They're trying to fix the financials while everyone's looking up in the sky.
Exactly. They're just taking your attention off of what matters, right? So
massive distraction. All of it's a distraction, because the world is bankrupt, and they got to roll out the new global currency, and they want nobody watching what's going on. Rome is burning,
Yeah, I
and
don't-
only people want to see the gladiator games.
I don't I don't know about like a new global currency or nothing like that. I mean, it's possible. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like what's happening right now is them, like the whole like world and the media trying to keep everyone's attention off of something. I can't put my finger on it, but I don't like it, man. I don't like it. Something is brewing, man. Something is going to happen, and they're trying to get everyone's attention elsewhere. But I mean, hopefully it's nothing.
At the Circle K. Sorry, movie quote. My bad.
That's right. What movie is that from? That sounds familiar.
Bill and Ted's.
I haven't seen it.
What? You've never seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure? Really?
Never seen it. I mean, I don't really watch too many movies.
Bill
like
and
that.
Ted. Did you say Bill and Ted?
Bill and Ted, yeah.
Yeah. I watched that as a kid, man.
Yeah, it's Tim Harper.
You gotta watch that, Leo, man. He is funny as hell, and it's
I wish I had more time to watch movies. It's impossible for me to watch a movie because first, like, I have a problem where no matter how interesting a movie is, I always fall asleep through it. My wife gets pissed off at me all the time because she'll be excited to watch something, and I'll sit down and watch it with her for like 30 minutes, and then she'll look over at me and I'll be knocked out. The only place I can watch movies is in the movie theaters.
Oh, really? Damn. Yeah, I fall asleep in the theaters, bro. I watch it at home, you know. But yeah, it's good. How many books have you read then? Because you said your New Year's resolution was to read so many books, right?
So I read an entire like short book on my flight to Japan. I started another book while I was in Japan at night. I was reading like a few pages a night, and I tried to read it on my way back on the flight, but I just fell asleep the whole time. But yeah, man, I want to read 30 books this year. So far, I've read 1.5 since the year started. So I'm not on track. I'm not on track to finish, but that just means I'm gonna have to go harder, right? So
yeah,
I'm at 1.5 right now. Maybe I'll power through it, and if I have like 20 more books left, I'll just go pick up 20 Dr. Seuss books, quick little 10-page bangers, and just bang those out real quick.
That's cheating, man. That's cheating. Guys, Leo's cheating, guys.
Yeah, no, man. I underestimated like how busy you get, right? Like even reading a book, as easy as it sounds, you need to try to like find the time to fit it in, right? And I mean, when you balance like everything in your life, whether it's work or life or family, there's very little leftover time for you to do what you want to do.
Yeah.
So I envy the people who have time for themselves. They may not be as successful as the people who don't have time, but they have more time to do the things they love or the things that they're interested in compared to like, people like, not like necessarily only like Elon, but just like successful business people or people who are just like, always working. They don't really have much time for themselves, and everybody from the outside looks at them and they're like, they're like, oh man, I want to be like Leo, or I want to be like Elon or whatever. And they have money or this and that. Trust me, guys, like you probably don't want to be me. It may sound cool from the outside, but sometimes I wish I could be like you guys, right? Because it's like, I don't know. You always want what you can't have. That's just one thing in life. You're gonna always want what you don't have.
Yeah, but you guys have decided to create this beautiful project, and that's gonna obviously take a lot of your time. You could just chill on the beach, man, and not have done this, right?
100%, man. We could have very easily launched this and just like, walked away and let it have done its thing. Eventually it would have plateaued, and then eventually people would have started losing interest, and then Shibadoge would have just been a name. But we want Shibadoge to be more than just a name. We want it to be something that impacts the world, something that brings people together, something that actually changes the you know the industry that we're in, Web3, and actually
Yeah.
even shapes the future of different industries that are created in the future. Like we want to be able to, we're not going to be doxxed forever. I'm not going to be doxxed forever. One day the day is going to come like where it's like, all right, guys, it's time to own this. Like we're turning this into an actual legit company. Like here we are.
Mm-hmm.
This is me. But as long as this lasts, like I'm going to enjoy every moment of it. Being undoxed. But like you look at Yuga Labs, the Bored Ape guys. Like I love the way that they came out and introduced themselves to the world, right? Like nobody knew who they were. They weren't doxxed. They created one of the biggest NFT projects in the world, and they became the biggest NFT project in the world. And still nobody knew who they were, but they knew that like they were devs. But then they started getting investors, and they started bringing on all these crazy onboarding crazy money to build their metaverse and kind of like turn Yuga Labs into like a whole empire. And then they were like, okay, now we'll let you guys know who we are because we've done everything that we wanted to do behind the curtain, behind the scene. Now it's time to level up and go to the next stage, go to the next step. So, I want our story to be very similar to that. Not that we want to copy anybody, but we want to be unique to our own story and to our own upbringing. And I think legacy is very important to me because I don't do, like I said, I don't do this for the money. I do this to try to change the world and try to actually
right,
be a part of something that makes me happy. And I think nothing makes me happier than this, and like being able to kind of be a part of a community that we kind of gave, I don't want to say gave birth to, but to kind of like help kickstart and manage and be on top of, and like we kind of respect everybody that's came and gone. We've seen some good people come and go, but at the end of the day, like what really matters is, are people benefiting from this? Are people learning? Are people growing? Is this becoming a bigger and bigger thing? Every month, every year, every decade, whatever. As long as that's happening, then shoot, like that's a success in my book.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, you guys are here all the time. You guys are working on the project day in, day out. So like, yeah, a lot of people may not want to be you, because it's not easy what you're doing, right?
It's not, bro. I mean, this is not the only thing that I do too. Like, obviously,
Right.
I have my own, different ventures as well. I have my own businesses, my own e-commerce stuff, my own investments. And when they say more money, more problems, that's not like just a saying. That you really do have more problems. Is that a bad thing? No. Problems are meant to be solved. Like, give me all the problems you got. I'll solve them. I'll try to solve them. But
Right.
that's the thing, is like you got to be able to be strong enough as a person and build that willpower to be able to handle all that. Like the more you can handle, the more successful you'll be. That's just the name of the game. The people who can't handle responsibility and who can't handle pressure, it's unfortunate, but they can only grow so much until they plateau and kind of fall apart, because a lot of people can't operate under stress. So the people who
Right.
can operate under stress, big props to you guys, because it's not an easy thing. And I mean, I've been doing it for years now, and you just have to be able to harness it, right?
Yeah.
Don't let stress bring you down. Just let it kind of like motivate you to 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 do better. But yeah, man. I mean, I wouldn't like, if I had the option to trade my life and become who I was 10 years ago before the success, I wouldn't do it. Obviously, everything's better when you're successful, even though I'm here ranting and complaining about more money, more problems. But I mean, I wouldn't trade it, right? So like I said,
Yeah.
everyone just wants what they can't have until they have it, and then they're like, okay, whatever. So
Right. But you could just shut everything down yourself. Like, you got enough money, right? You can just shut everything down and you can just chill and go on holiday every couple of weeks. Go on the beach. You don't have to work for the rest of your life, right? But
you could, I could, but then it's like you would definitely 100. Well, me personally, I would 100% get bored within like a month.
Yeah.
Within a month, I would get like I was in Japan and I tried to shut myself down. Right, I tried to like not do anything that related to work. I tried to not do anything that related in progression, and I tried to just enjoy myself. Right, I couldn't go like 2 hours without like checking my phone to make sure like this is good, that's good, making sure all of the things are in order. So
Yeah.
that's not the type of person I am, right? I mean, there are people like that who can inherit a large amount of money and never lift a finger again, never want to work, never want to do anything. That's not me. I want to continue building, and I want to continue
making a difference,
leaving a name from
Yeah.
exactly, making a difference, making a name for myself, building a legacy, building something that my kids could be proud of in the future. Not just say like, hey, like my pops was this rich, but my pops did this and that, and he built that. And I don't want to be measured by the amount of money that I have. I want to be measured by the amount of success that I've done. And success isn't always about money. It's about like bringing something to the table that changes the world or changes the game. So that's what I want to do.
Yeah, man.
Damn, I see Alex in the building, just chilling in the background. We see you, Alex.
Is he in the bottom?
Alex.
We see you, bro. He's just chilling.
Spying on us.
There he is.
Alex, come on up.
Alex woke up from hibernation.
Yeah. He's going to say he's having problems with his mouse now.
Hibernation. Oh, man. It's been a long day.
How are you, man?
Sup,
Good.
Alex?
Tired. I could go for a 16-hour nap.
Wow.
Did you nap? Did you end up napping? Last I spoke to you, you said you wanted to take a quick little doozy. Did you?
I did get an hour in, but I need a little bit more than that, apparently. It's not like you can't do it like you're 18 anymore. It's just when you're 18, you can just keep going. It's different. Once you're an adult.
That's the thing, is like we're full grown adults, but we still think we're 18, man. The things we do. And then we wake up the next day and we're like, I'm not recovering like an 18-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
Leo, talk to us about Burn, bro. What's going on, Burn?
You want me to talk? Okay, so
I was gonna say, Ruth, the holiday gets boring after a while. I've done that.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah.
It gets very boring very quickly.
Yeah, I would be the same.
You know how it starts off?
Maybe a year, maybe 2 years, you enjoy, but after a while, you end up wanting to do something productive. You'll find yourself at holiday and you're like, oh, I want to open up a hot dog stand because there's no hot dog on the beach, and let me just open that up. So that's how that works.
Right.
Yeah. So this is how a typical vacation for me goes. I arrive at my vacation destination. The first day, I start saying stuff like, wow, this place is great. I'd love to live here. And I'd say like, oh my God, the people here are amazing. I wish everyone was like this where I live. And I'd be like, wow, the food here is great. I wish I had food here at home, food like this at home. The second day, I'd be like, oh my God, this place is the absolute best. I can't wait to move here. I'm starting to look at like, places to move and different like houses or apartments or whatever in the area. And then fast forward like 5 days, 6 days. This place sucks. I can't wait to get back home. That's how every vacation is for me, dude. I get there, I immediately start saying how much I love it the first couple of days. And then the next few days, I'm like, I can't wait to get back home. Like, screw this place.
Yep. Home sweet home.
Nothing's better than your own Yeah, and nothing's better than your own bed, man. I don't care where you go. I don't care if
Yeah.
you're staying at the 7-star, hotel in Dubai.
Yeah.
Eventually, after a few days, you're gonna be like, yeah, I want to go home. Not maybe a
Yes.
few days, maybe like a week.
Yeah. Exactly. No
What's
place
that
like
hotel
home.
called? The
Burj
Burj Al
Khalifa.
Arab, the world's.
I'll tell you if that's true what you said, Leo, when I get back from Costa Rica in a couple of weeks. We'll see, because I may not be coming back. My own bed? No. 85-degree water? That's my bed.
You'll see. How long are you staying out there?
About a week and a half.
Nice. Costa Rica is pretty fun from what I've heard. I know a few people who went out there for a bachelor party.
Right.
I got invited too, but I didn't go. And they came back and told me it was like one of the craziest places they've been. So
Right.
I'm sure you're gonna go out there and party.
No, I'm just going to surf, dude. That's it, and chill. No party for me. I don't party. I don't drink. I don't do anything. So.
You ever been to Honolulu?
I have. Yeah.
Yeah, Honolulu's a pretty cool place if you like surfing. I can't surf. I've tried surfing one time when I was a teenager, and I almost drowned, and I never tried it again after that.
Oh, you quit, huh? Man, shame on you. I know you.
Man, I mean, you guys can have the ocean. You guys can have the ocean. That's not for me, man.
I don't want to, baby. You're more like a jacuzzi and Mai Tai kind of guy.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Give me a jacuzzi. I'll surf in there. I'm trying to go to the moon. I'm not trying to go to the bottom of the ocean.
True.
I just don't want to miss the crate launch. When's the crate launch happening?
We're aiming for everything to happen this month, bro. So February is gonna be
I'm
it's
hold my crates for me.
If you for sure, bro. Yeah, I mean you'll still be able to pick one up off the secondary market if you don't get one. But if you minted the Shiba Army,
yeah.
If you minted a Shiba Army this week, then you'll get one airdropped. If you own a burn card, you'll get 5 of them airdropped.
Okay, yeah, I'm golden then, and it doesn't matter when I mint them if I get them airdropped because I do have burn card.
Yeah, exactly. It won't matter. So if you have a burn card, you'll get 5 of them. Yeah, you'll get 5 of them airdropped to you.
Killer. Nice. Thanks, man.
Hello.
What's up, Snags?
Yep. How are you, brother?
Good, bro. How about you?
Not too bad. Question for you. I have a burn card, and I moved it from I used to have it in MetaMask, and I finally smartened up and got myself a ledger and move all my NFTs and whatever I have to my ledger. How would that airdrop work for the crate? It wouldn't. So it would go to my ledger wallet, I'm assuming.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it would go into the wallet that your burn card is in. So yeah, you'll receive it into your ledger if that's where you're holding it.
Oh, okay, sweet. Thank you.
For sure, bro.
Burn, Leo, burn.
So Sonny, we're gonna have a burn. Look, we'll have a burn AMA after we do the staking AMA. So the staking AMA, like I said, is gonna be on the 27th. So we'll do a burn AMA like in March before staking goes live. So we'll have a burn AMA. We're still working on the back end stuff of like finalizing that. And when that happens, we're actually gonna have to. We might bring the burn website like down for maintenance for like a day. I don't know exactly what's going to go into that, but we're going to obviously update the website and like give it the new information that would be updated with and all that stuff. So there's still a little bit of work on our end before we can get into full detail as to what to expect. But I mean, obviously you guys are bullish on burn.
Just a reminder, there's only 28 days in this month. It always gets me.
That's right. Is it a leap year? No, right?
No, I don't think so.
All right, go ahead.
On YouTube, we got a question. Are the breeded NFTs going to be stakeable?
Initially no. So initially the bred NFTs are going to have their own utility, which is going to be the fully customization, fully customizable like interface and the ability to equip DNFTs and EFTs to your ShibaDoge. So that's going to be its utility. Whether or not we'll introduce it to staking in the future, that's still to be decided. But right now, staking is going to stay exclusive to Doge Army and Shiba Army NFTs. ShibaDoge is a completely different iteration. They won't be able to be staked initially, but that doesn't mean that a similar thing can or cannot be introduced into the future. It just depends what makes sense. But we are planning on bringing in like different kinds of like modifiers with the EFTs and the equipables that'll pretty much give you cool like features and give you cool. I like to call them superpowers, but you guys can call them whatever you want. When we introduce it, we'll actually introduce it with a proper name and a proper title. But the possibilities are endless as to what we can introduce and the things that we can do with the tech that we're bringing to the table. These NFTs are equipped with an upgradable smart contract, so we'll be able to actually implement new quirks and features that are brought to the table, like as far as like tech advancements. So we'll be like Apple iPhones and Teslas, like that you could update them. We won't be stuck in one version. We'll be able to adapt, and we'll be able to bring cool new features as the contract evolves in the future.
Cool.
Elia, quick question for you. I'm not sure if you already said it already. Will the breeding be before the staking?
Yes.
It'd be kind of
yeah.
It'd be kind of cool, Leo. Imagine you put a reward for like 60 days, like you have a 60-day staking, but the breeding is after you stake, and see who has the balls to unstake to go and breed. That'd be funny.
Yeah, no, I mean that's initially what was supposed to. We were thinking if we should do the staking first, but it just doesn't make sense because it's like a lot of people are gonna, not that they're gonna have the balls to do it, but what's gonna happen is they're gonna be kind of like in a dilemma where they might not. Some people will be in a position where like they might not even have enough gas money to unstake, breed, and then stake again. And obviously some people are better off than others, and it wouldn't bother them to do that. But we just want to make it so that everybody has the opportunity and the ability to get the full experience without having to, go back and forth and pay extra money that they don't need to pay in gas fees to, get the full experience and the full benefits out of their NFTs. So I get what you're saying. Like it'll be a cool and funny experiment, but we're just gonna keep it in this cycle so that we can avoid any issues in the future.
Oh no, that's cool, man. I didn't even think about it that way. That's really fair. I appreciate you for saying that. I didn't even think about it that way. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, man. All right. Let's see. Go ahead. Somebody was saying something.
Oh, what's up, Leo? This is Deadhead.
What's up, Deadhead?
Not much, man. I had a couple questions. If you can take them. The first one was about the Dogecoin extractor, and is there any kind of updates we can get on that as far as like what it'll be used for in the upcoming season, or is it still classified?
So not that it's like classified, but the Dogecoin extractor was pretty much like a season reward that was the season 2 reward. Obviously, it was the Dogecoin extract Operation Dogecoin extraction was season 2. So the Dogecoin extractor is like a rare collectible that only the people who participated in season 2 or bought off of the secondary market were able to get. Not that anything is classified about it or anything like that, but these collectibles, these one-off items in the future can be something that we introduce different superpowers, like I said, too. I'm not saying we are or we aren't going to. I'm just saying that we have the ability to kind of like, since these equipables are something that can modify your NFT as far as its looks go, we think it's cool that it'll be able to modify the way that the NFT operates too, right? So whether it's with the Dogecoin extractor, whether it has a power or it's just cosmetic, that's still to be decided. It's a cool thing to know that, hey, there will never be a re-release of this, and the only way that I got it, or you can get it, is from staking the entirety of season 2, and it's just like it's a status symbol, and it's a collection item at this point, and something that a couple of years down the line is going to become more and more rare as time goes on. So.
Okay, yeah, gotcha. I thought for some reason I'd heard you say in a past AMA that it was going to have some kind of benefit in the 3rd season, but
oh no,
I don't know. I might have just been dreaming.
Maybe. I don't think I ever said anything like that, but yeah. But I mean, the possibilities of what we could do are kind of like to the limits of our imagination, in a sense, where obviously we want to make everything as engaging and as creative as we possibly can. So everything ties into one another, and like the comic book that's coming out too, we'll introduce the storyline of the lore, and all of these items that are being released in the EFT collections will have a correlation to the comic book and our lore, and then obviously the story will progress. These items will have more sentimental value. People will kind of know what the background stories for these items are, and that includes the Dogecoin extractor and pretty much everything else that we introduce into the collection, other than like partnerships and other than like one-off cool like gimmicky items that we release that are just like cosmetic cool collectibles that people are going to want to collect anyway. So yeah, man, it's all part of a greater plan. It's all part of like something that we're just slowly but correctly trying to introduce into the ecosystem.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. And then also, just real quick, if you don't mind, earlier you were saying that you have to have a pair, for the burn to get the burn rewards for the staking.
Yeah.
Is that like, does it like, if say you have like 2 pairs, does that mean you get like double the amount of burn, or is it just like you have to have 1 pair total to get the complete, amount of burn that everyone gets? Or is it different?
So it would be like, for example, it's like, let's say you were, this number is completely hypothetical, but let's say you were getting 10 burn tokens for having a pair of NFTs, right?
Right.
Per day. Let's say you're getting 10 burn tokens. For each pair you have, you'd get 10 burn tokens, right? So if you have if you have 5 pairs, then you would get 50 burn tokens.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah.
And then last thing,
those numbers are hypothetical, by the way. So
yeah. Gotcha.
Go ahead.
But the last question, and I'll let someone else come up. But with as far as like the whole staking thing goes, with like the United States and the banning on staking through centralized exchanges and all of that, like I feel like I completely, like I've heard you say like we're good here and everything, but like can you just make it like a little more black and white? Like what's the difference between what we do and what they're talking about?
Yeah, for sure, man. So to my current understanding, like what they're trying to ban is token staking and like protocols. So it's like let's say you buy 1,000 tokens of something, and an exchange is telling you like, hey, you just bought these 1,000 tokens. Why don't you farm a liquidity pool with it by staking it with us, and we'll give you 17% APR or APY on your stake tokens or your stake dollar amount, and you'll earn money. So what we're doing is completely different, because you're not locking anything up with us. You have the complete ability to claim your NFTs back out at any point. Secondly, we're not a centralized exchange. This is more of like a gamified thing that we've built, where it's like, hey, send your troops to a war zone, have them participate in the war zone, and you get rewards for it.
Right.
We're not locking anybody in. We're not like leaving anything on the table as far as like you might lose access to your digital assets or NFTs or whatever. Like, you know, everything is safe, secure. It's more of a game rather than a staking protocol. We just call it staking because that's, you know, what the industry normalized it as to call it. But at the end of the day, it's just like a war. We call it the Shibadoge war zone, and it's like our game in a sense where, you know, you're just deploying your NFTs, which are your troops, and in return, your troops are pretty much earning you, you know, tokens that are, in a sense, like it's like a game.
Gaming tokens. Is that what we're getting? Like
kind of in a sense, but like, I mean, yeah. Now, not to say like things might be different in the future, depending on, you know, what the laws entail. But as of right now, I'm pretty sure we're like not affected whatsoever with, you know, anything that's going on. Like what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it so that these random centralized exchanges aren't the people who are acting like banks and giving out percentage on people's money, right? They want the banks to be able to be the people that like, hey, give me your $1,000, hold it in my bank, and I'll give you a percentage. They don't want like a random like centralized exchange in you know, who knows where, you know, to handle people's money and give them percentages and, you know, take money away from the banks. So that's why the government is kind of like cracking down on those staking protocols that these exchanges are having. But I don't think they're gonna go into the whole NFT side of things because we're not like a bank. We're not like anything like what they're categorizing those other people as. We're completely different. We're a meme ecosystem doing cool things, and that's that's the end of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that, and thank you, man.
It's a bit like Roblox, you know. My kids play Roblox and they have to buy tokens and then they can get rewards and all kinds of stuff. It's like something like that, you know.
Exactly.
Like they have their own tokens in the game. You can buy clothes with the tokens. You can switch things over, like how we got our EFTs. You can sell stuff. You can swap stuff in that game. So that I don't see.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's just a way to interact with our ecosystem, man. You know, like we're not a staking protocol. We've never claimed to be. We never want to be. That's the furthest thing that we want to be. We're a meme project. We're you know, we do fun things. We introduce games. We introduce ways for you to interact with your token, your project, your NFTs, and you know, we don't lock anybody into the staking contract. You know, you go in at your free will. You come out whenever you want. You don't have to, you know, have a certain amount of days locked in, and you're unable to claim anything, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What's it called when you get like drafted? It's not like you're drafted into the war. You volunteer.
You're volunteering, yeah. You're volunteering to go in.
Oh, man.
All right, guys.
Thanks,
Yeah, for sure, bro, for sure. I'm gonna read a couple of questions that people had asked on our Reddit and answer some of those on the AMA. Some people asked a whole bunch of cool questions on here, so let's go ahead and read a couple of these. Let's see. This one is from someone named Magarata. It says, first of all, this is a great way to ask questions. Mine is not a real question, but would love to know about bread NFTs. Would we be able to stake them soon? Okay, we had answered that already. Only those NFTs would be able to dress up with the EFTs. Okay, yeah, so that's a good question. So your bread NFTs are initially going to be the only NFTs that you'll be able to dress up in the equipable EFTs. So yeah, initially, yes. And let's see, the third question she asked is, will the staking season 3 be similar to the last two? Okay, so we've already answered that too in a sense. So, okay. Next question. So this person asked if there'll be like a lower buy and sell tax in the near future as we grow holders and market cap. Will there be certain stages that we will be slowly bringing down the tax? I know we talked a little bit about this in some AMAs. Also, could we put something in the official Shibadoge website that will help new investors that are coming in. I'm just thinking if they see this in the website, they would rethink about selling. Okay, so the taxes are pretty much set in place. That's the tokenomics that Shibadoge was introduced with, and that's the tokenomics that Shibadoge is going to stay with, right? In the sense, the 555 tax is our tokenomics, and the reflections are important, the liquidity is important, burn is important, the liquidity is important, everything is important. This is the reason why those taxes were implemented in the first place. And because of those reflections, I mean, because of those tokenomics, we were able to build a very, very strong liquidity pool. We were able to burn a whole bunch of tokens, and we were able to actually fund a lot of the development and a lot of the marketing that we've done up to now. So we currently don't have any plans or ideas of wanting to change the tokenomics, because we strongly believe in, you know, something that can self-sustain. And I mean, zero tax tokens are cool and everything, but there's really no sustainability as far as, you know, the project goes when you're dealing with the zero tax token. But when there is actually a token that continues to feed itself into the path of growth through people interacting with it and through transactions coming in, which benefits both holders and the project itself, it's a win-win situation. Yeah, obviously nobody wants to pay taxes if they don't have to, but at the end of the day, you know, those taxes are going to pretty much beef up the liquidity pool. It's pretty much going to give us more ability to build and market, and it's going to pretty much go to all the holders and benefit all the holders because of the reflections that people get through those taxes. So, you know, those are the fundamentals that our project was launched with, and as of right now, we don't have any plans of changing that. Yeah, we do tax events here and there to kind of like, you know, spice things up, and you know, we did one on Christmas or whatever, and a few before that as well. But those are just spontaneous, random little event things, and you know, we if there is another tax event coming up, you guys will know about it. But as of right now, nothing is changing. Let's see. Next question. More and more kids and young teens are getting into the Web3 space. Will the devs ever consider launching a kids-friendly NFT project that is free of violence and weapons? I feel this is a whole new market we could tap into. Maybe some 3D animated NFTs with merch and cartoon comic books for kids. We also don't yet appeal to the female market as well at the moment. This is another thing to consider, as we're just missing out on the whole demographic. Yeah, okay, I could see it. I could see like what you mean by that, but I mean, when we created this, we didn't really like choose a demographic of male or female. We just decided like, hey, this is what we want, this is what we're doing, this is what we like, and you know, obviously the people who it attracted are the people who it attracted. Obviously, you know, we've had a pretty nice balance of people from all kinds of different demographics, but I do agree that there is a opportunity to tap into like a kid space in the future. And I think that's where our you know, whole media part of things will come into play in the future with the comic book, and hopefully like a cartoon, and hopefully like a game type of thing. Will we release NFTs that are targeted towards kids? Probably not, unless they're like free to claim like things where they don't have a monetary value, just because that creates a whole new like plethora of legal things that you got to deal with if you're trying to sell stuff to kids, especially since in most countries you have to be over 18 or in some cases over 21 to even, you know, buy whole crypto. So that's not something that we're going to be focusing on anytime soon. But as far as like the media stuff and, you know, being able to kind of like introduce Shibadoge to the younger audience through our storytelling, that's something that we're for sure interested in. And we've always been kid friendly, like in our AMAs and in our discussions. I know some of our community members even listen to these AMAs with their kids. We try to be as informative as possible. So yeah, for sure, we do have the kids in mind, but our target audience has always been adults, and it will continue to be adults, just because that's just the way things should be. Like, we don't want to really brainwash kids into like buying things without them understanding what it is. And obviously we'll never do that, but yeah. Anyway, next question. Is there a comic book in the future? And if so, will our NFTs play a role? So yeah, there is a comic book. The comic book is pretty much 100% done. Right now, what we're doing is planning a release for the comic book. So you guys will see it very, very soon. The comic book is amazing. I love it. You guys will love it too. Will our NFTs play a role? Your NFTs may very well play a role in the future, and we'll probably be able to have different contestants and pick different NFTs to be featured in the comic books. But as of right now, the characters that have been chosen are characters that I don't believe are actual NFTs, and they're just characters that our artists have brought to life. And you guys will very shortly understand what I mean by that. So, Alex, I don't know if after this you want to talk at all about the comic book, or if we should mention anything, or just kind of just like keep doing what we're doing and finalize the launch date and then just bang, surprise everybody with it. But the comic book is amazing.
Leaning towards the latter, but I'm okay with us sharing the front and back cover. So if you want to go ahead and do that, that'd be good.
For sure. I don't have it saved on my computer, so if you could post it, or you could send it to me, and I'll post it. But yeah, I'm down to do that. I mean, you guys have been in this comic book for a long time.
Yeah, let me send you a screenshot.
Okay, perfect. All right, next question is, for burn card holders, will their EFT be airdropped, or do they have to mint? Okay, for burn card holders, they will be airdropped. You don't have to mint to get your 5 EFTs. I mean, obviously you can mint more NFTs if you want, but for the 5 that you're going to be getting for holding a burn card, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to connect to anything, nothing like that. We'll just airdrop it to you guys. So don't get scammed by people DMing you or anything like that. Next question is, I'm into the Shiba army this week. When will I get an EFT? Should I mint the EFT, or will it be airdropped to my wallet? I actually replied to this one on Reddit because I didn't want people messaging him and trying to scam him. So I replied to him on Reddit. I said, it will be airdropped. You won't need to connect or claim. We will send it to the corresponding address when the crates go live.
I just sent you the cover. Obviously, there's maybe will be some changes likely to the backside, but this is actually going to be a printed version of the book in a high quality print. It's going to be a collectible edition. There may be some integration where if you have an NFT or something to that effect, you will also have the physical item, and it's going to be, I think, pretty good. I mean, I've actually seen one of the physical copies, and it looks as badass as it could possibly be. So maybe we'll tease out.
No, dude, I was blown away. By the way, guys, this whole comic book is handmade. All the images generated are hand drawn. They're penciled in with like real color pencil and like paint and whatever. Like it's not generated through like Photoshop or anything like that. We actually had someone create this by hand. That's why it took as long as it did. But we wanted to make sure we could create like an authentic experience and something that people can, get attached to, in a sense, because we did put a lot of hard work and time into bringing this to you guys.
Well, you see a lot of these other Web3 projects, and they all say, "Oh, I'm going to put comics into their thing," but one, they lack storyline. One, they lack a narrative that actually matters, and two, they just don't have good quality artwork or even a good quality storyline. So we're coming out with 23 pages of basically the foundational storyline of how Shiba and Doge came together in the future. The year is 2032, and
42.
It's 2042, and there's a lot of characters that are going to be introduced through this comic book. This is something that's going to be entertaining and available to people that are Dogecoin holders and Shiba coin holders. So nobody is producing at this level of quality. So this is going to bring a massive amount of awareness for our project, our holders, are going to be rewarded by basically seeing, you know, a bunch of different people coming into the project who are just like, I love what you guys are doing just for the Shiba and the Doge communities. We're creating this whole narrative of how it all came to be, and it's all based on the foundation of our project. So I think it's going to be really, really, it's going to be really good. I think so. Just from the 2 teasers we sent, I mean, I think people can get the idea as to the quality.
Yeah, I think it's like a 22 or 23 page comic from what I remember.
And it's actually going to be printed, so 22 pages. Traditional comics, 15 or 16 pages, if I recall correctly.
Bullish. Nah, man, you guys are gonna love it. I personally was blown away by the quality of it, right? Like, because Alex spent a lot of time with the artist and the studio that was creating it. So even myself, I was kind of like, you know, getting monthly updates rather than like Alex knew exactly what was going on because he was working firsthand with the people who were creating it. So he always knew it was going to be a banger, and he knew like, you know, what's going into it. But every time that I would see a sneak peek, I would be like, holy crap, that's our up there. He's dropping more teasers. But yeah, man, it's the storyline is amazing. The storyline is something that Alex worked very, very hard on. So you know it's going to be good. But yeah, man, we're very, very stoked, and I don't know exactly what the timeline for a release on this is, but it's very, very soon. Right now, we're kind of like just finalizing, like, you know, a couple last minute things, but it's pretty much 100% ready to go. We're just, you know, tying some loose ends, and then we'll drop it.
Hey, Leo's KK.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Hey, how y'all doing? Quickly, because you guys ran into like logistical issues with the flip-flops. So the printed copy of the comic book, are you guys gonna send that to folks, or what's the deal?
Oh, it's definitely going to be sent out. So we actually have already solved that problem going forward. The flip-flops were definitely a logistical nightmare, but this one is, we've actually narrowed down that and created a solution for it.
Nice.
Yeah,
so
we actually learned a lot from
we're making a good investment into the actual box and packaging of the comic book itself. So it's not just going to be put into like a UPS standard thing. It's going to be like a whole collectible item.
So where do we buy this from? Like, how do we get it, the printed one?
Good things take time, you know.
Exactly.
Say no more. Got you, bro.
This comic book will actually, there will be some very important elements of it that I would recommend for even people that aren't going to participate in the actual comic book launch. But there's going to be some release of new characters. We're introducing characters like Dr. Morse. We're introducing characters like Acheron, and they're going to be very pivotal characters in the ecosystem. They're going to mean a lot to where the future of the NFTs go. And every single one of them have a story behind them. So just keep your eyes peeled.
And this is how like the major people who built like attachment to like media company, like, you know, like I'm thinking animes like Dragon Ball Z. I'm thinking like, you know, like even Pokemon and things like, it all started with a comic book. It all started with a comic book, and it just became something that people loved so much. The story, they got so attached to it that it grew into like a blockbuster thing where they have like cartoons, they have video games, they have, you know, trading cards, and we're kind of working it out in a backwards order, right? So we have our like trading collectible items, which would be our NFTs. We already had that out first, but now since we're introducing the storyline, and if we can actually execute and bring to you guys something that you guys can, you know, actually love and want more of, this could be a great opportunity for us to penetrate like all kinds of different audiences around the world that that storytelling is a very, very powerful thing. People get very invested into storylines, and they get very invested into the way things play out in these stories, even if they're fiction. So a good story can actually grow our community by tenfold just by the media alone. And even if it doesn't, it's just something that we wanted to do and something that we want to introduce into our ecosystem and something that we had a great time doing. So we poured our heart and soul into it, and I'm sure you guys will enjoy it. Roof, if you want, let's go ahead and let's spin that wheel, yeah? The one that I sent you.
Yes, ready. No problem.
So we're going to pick 5 winners, and the 5 winners will pretty much receive, I believe it's 10 million burn tokens each. And then we're going to pick 2 extra winners, and those 2 extra winners will pretty much be guaranteed a EFT crate each. So 7 total spins.
I just refreshed it. Okay. Here we go.
So these are numbers, and each of these numbers represent, if you go to our website and click on burn token and then look at the Burnathon leaderboard and go to top buyers, it'll represent buyer number 1 through buyer number 105. So whichever number lands on the wheel would be corresponding to that number that's on the leaderboard of the Burnathon event top buyers. So we got 105 people on there. We're going to go ahead and pick 7. So the first 5 will be for the 10 million tokens.
Nice. So let's go. Started the spin. $73.
Okay, I'm writing these down as we go, so you can keep spinning. So number 73.
Leo, I also have another preview of what it's going to look like. I just sent that in there.
Cool.
Oh, nice. This is like the one that we shared earlier. Yeah, hell yeah.
So this is a complete Shibadoge NFT, and all the items that you would be able to get on breeding when you breed your item. When you breed your NFT, you're going to be able to select these items depending on what rank and what rarity you do have. So you can choose things like the laser green mouth, the tribal fur, a portal gun, different space cargo pants, what your secondary weapon is, what your primary weapon is, what your aura is. You're not going to see that here, but your aura is also something that you'll be able to select. And the whole idea is that you really will fall in love with your NFT. Every single one that you do have, you're going to be able to really own and love, because
Alex, will they be able to change the background too?
You will be able to change the background. So that's not in this little preview, but it is an editable selection. We have got really cool backgrounds. I mean, I can actually drop some teasers in here while I'm on it. Give me a sec.
Nice. You got that,
okay.
Leo?
Right, well, you look for that. Yeah, number 68 is the second winner. Yep, I got that.
Yep. Okay. Here we go. Nine.
Okay, number 9. Cool.
There are 21 backgrounds.
So the backgrounds, guys, are going to be collectible items as well too. Just like, okay, 21 is the 4th winner. We got that.
Cool.
Did you just say 21? Because that's
21.
That's ironic.
Oh yeah, that's funny, dude. That's actually good.
Yeah.
Here is the models. So, for example, you'll be able to have something like this.
You got that, Leo? Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Alex or Leo, just a quick one, man. With the new EFTs and whatnot, as time goes on, is it the OpenSea? I was trying to find it under, obviously the one owner. It's not all linked to that, is it? Like it's all over the place. Like I think with the Shibadoge is created by underscore Peter, whatever it was, and
Yeah, the
it's not all
Shibadoge. So what
grouped.
exactly were you looking for?
Yeah, it's not
Like the
grouped on
EFTs?
OpenSea. Yeah, it's under a different owner.
Which collections are you looking? Are you looking
So
at like the
like if I
EFT
go into
collection? And
yeah, just give me a second. Let me have a look.
Alex, was the owner of the EFT collection Shibadoge Peter's OpenSea, or was it?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at.
Roof, I got that. Number 51 is the winner for number 6, which would be one EFT crate. So let's go ahead and spin the next one. This will be the last one, and then I'll post the results.
Cool. Here we go.
No, it'll
44.
44. Got it.
Yep.
All right, so I'll post and pin those. So if you want to see if you won, just go to our website and then go to the Burnathon leaderboards and then click on the top buys, and then you can see which wallet corresponds to which number there, and you can see if you're a winner. But these airdrops will happen probably like Monday or Tuesday, something like that, with the rest of the airdrops because we still have to do the rest of the Burnathon airdrops and the Mint Monday ones. So we'll do all that all at once next week.
Yeah, Leo, it's Shibadoge underscore Peter. Like it's not all under there. Under that one banner.
Okay.
Is there any way of linking
that one
to the OpenSea of Shibadoge underscore Peter, or is it totally separate?
Alex, do you know anything about that? I honestly, I have no clue off the top of my head. Top secret.
It's a separate contract. So let me send the link.
No, I know that it's a separate I think what he was asking was like, would we be able to
I think
put
it's
it
just for the
under?
future as well, for the future people who invest in Shibadoge, like because for us to go into the one section and having a look in OpenSea, you would think that everything was all kind of grouped together.
Yeah, originally that's how we wanted it, but for reasons, I think it was a security decision that we decided to put it under a separate contract. But what we are going to do is, as we build a better relationship and a stronger relationship with OpenSea, we're going to have them. In fact, actually, we just spoke with OpenSea, and they said that they're aware of projects that are building multiple contracts, and they're looking to do a feature that's going to kind of tie them together in a way that, because they get it, that multiple deployers are used in some of this stuff. So we're going to see how we could potentially, verify this all under one collection, or at least tie this and link it to. They're aware of this problem. It's something that they actually want to do without us being sort of the reason for it to happen. So I think it's a time thing. And also, we're going to continue to recommend different things to them that'll help make it better and the experience overall better. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, in a perfect world, it would have all kind of fit under the same deployer, but we made a strategic decision to not do that.
Cool. Thanks.
Alex, you know that NFT? Can you send me the full picture of that for the next AMA? I'll just use it.
Which one is that?
This one. Yeah, look in the main chat.
Oh, the fully built one?
Yeah, the fully built one.
Okay,
Can
sure.
you send that?
I got you.
So I use it for the AMA videos.
Chris just asked, what are these background EFTs? Yes, they are. They are apps. There's over 21 backgrounds that you will be able to select from. Obviously, that will continue to grow. There'll be unique ones. I mean, we have one for Dogeum, and then each of these are actually categorized based on tier. So there's common, uncommon, legendary, rare, epic, and then I think there's one more. No, I think that's it. So common, uncommon. Yeah, common, uncommon, rare, epic, and legendary. And the supply count will be determined by what tier it is. So if you own, a legendary, that's probably going to only be accessible to you if you have a pair of the most rare Shiba and Doge armies. So, well, let me send that.
Well, you'll have a higher chance. You'll have a higher chance of getting a legendary.
Yeah. So actually, what makes it kind of like fun is the sooner you breed, the better, because there's a limited supply quantity of each of these items, and if you breed a little too late, you may end up not getting access to a legendary item, even if you qualify for it. Right.
Because
so
it might already be fully minted out. Yeah.
Exactly. Correct.
I'm excited, man. I think this is going to change the whole way we look at our NFTs for sure. Because it's just I could see how it could be fun and addicting to just try to collect as much of these EFTs as possible. I'm like this in video games and stuff too. When I play obviously I've told you guys when I was growing up, I was playing a game called RuneScape. I still log in every now and then just to see what's up with my stuff. But I would have a kick out of collecting all kinds of different stuff just to say that I have it, right? And I know a lot of people are like that with a lot of things, right? Baseball cards or even stuffed animals or NFTs, and in now our case EFTs, which are pretty much a completely new thing. I mean, there's nobody else out there that's done it yet. Obviously, we know of doodles that want to do it now. They just recently made an announcement, but that just validates our move even more. We're headed in the right direction. If these top tier projects are wanting to do something similar to what we're doing, that just means we're bringing validity to what we're doing, and other people see a similar vision, and that means that there is a huge market for what we're introducing, right? So I'm excited, man.
You guys want one more banger? Should I just drop a banger?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
I just customized it, so I'm using the alpha of the application. So we'll see how it looks. Hold on. Give me 30 seconds.
They look badass though, man. That looks badass. You can just change anything. You can change things around and make your own NFT. That's so cool.
Ooh, that one's nice. With the whale chain.
Oh damn.
Oh, Leo. I customized basically what I thought you would look like if you were a Shiba.
Wow.
You gotta have the suspenders. You're a rugged guy, you gotta just make sure that you always have your pants secured. You don't want to get left with your pants down.
That's right. I'm gonna come to the office wearing suspenders from now on.
Do it or don't come.
It's like I'm wearing sweatpants with suspenders.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. That whale chain looks like it's like 17 pounds of gold. That's nuts.
That's hefty. That's something like Lil Wayne would be wearing.
Yeah. Can Lil Wayne even afford that whale chain? I don't know. That looks like
I'm sure.
Baby.
I'm sure he can. Let me look up his net worth real quick. God damn, he's worth $200 million.
Well
Almost
deserved.
as much as you.
Well deserved. Well deserved. I'm not even gonna complain. We don't hate.
I mean, he's only 5'5", dude.
At least we got that on him.
Yeah. Alex is 6'5".
Jeez.
Really?
Nah, I'm kidding. He's 6'7".
Secretly LeBron James.
All right, guys. Hey, does anybody have any more questions? If not, I'm probably gonna plan on going to grab something to eat. Okay.
Thanks, Leo.
All right.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Look, guys, let's continue to use Reddit. I didn't get to all of the questions that were asked on the Reddit today. So what I'll do is I'll just respond to some of those people on Reddit instead of on this AMA. So let's use Reddit. Let's make some posts. Let's share some posts. Let's like some posts. There's even a live chat there. If you guys want to go there and talk, sometimes we can. I think what we'll do in the future too is we'll actually host the AMA on Reddit too. I believe the AMAs there are just like written ones, but still, it's kind of like Twitter Spaces. When you host the AMA there, they kind of like showcase it on their AMA section, and people who are just browsing around can discover us and click into it and kind of just see what's up. So we'll do that a couple times. We'll see if it's effective or not. But regardless, let's support it. Let's help it grow.
I wanna just share one more. This is my favorite item. I don't know why. It just hits different. So the 888 trucker hat. Something that I'll be rocking on the NFTs.
Nice.
So that's a classic. Can't go wrong with that. We have one more trucker hat. We have over 200 plus items that will be available to people from the moment of breeding. So we actually have this, which we're thinking about doing and turning this into an actual merch item. So
I love that one because that's like the fishing hat that I always wear, dude.
Yeah, I know. It was inspired by you when we went fishing. Literally, totally. Oh my god! Just total. It's good.
I took Alex fishing for the first time in his life. He's never been fishing, and we had a blast, man.
We had a good time, but I didn't catch any fish. So
I was gonna say, did you catch anything?
Nope, I didn't catch shit. But
you got a cold.
Caught a cold.
Yeah.
Leo, did you catch anything?
Didn't you catch like 8 fish like in a row? Like you couldn't even put the bait on. It was just catching regardless. It was nuts.
Yeah, I think I caught like 2 or 3, and then our other friend caught like 5. But then we took all the fish home and we ate it. We rented a cabin and stuff, in the mountains, and it was cool. We cooked them up.
Was
that actually? I think we did like a big release around that time, right? Was that the release of the Shiba?
No. That day you know what we did that day? That night we got listed on L Bank. So we got listed on L Bank that same day, and then we had a metaverse party where we had the DJ in the metaverse and all that. So, and we had an AMA that day. So yeah, I'm sure you guys all remember. Most of you guys who were there around that time will remember what I'm talking about. We had an AMA with Austin Hilton that day.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
I would love if we had, is there a way we can set up some kind of like a form or something that would allow the community to submit their ideas for what kind of EFTs they'd like to see in season 2 of the EFT release? I think it would to get some input there, because the direction we're going with the supply crates are actually going to be more viral, trendy type things. I can actually share one of the ones that I think everyone's going to crack up for. Hold on a second. Let me put that up. Go on mute for a minute.
We could probably make like a sticky post and on Reddit and have people comment there. That'll be a pretty cool way of doing it. And we'll be able to gauge what people like, because they could upvote the ones that they like most.
About Reddit. We should definitely have a Reddit post for that, like a submission page, a submission post. I don't think the DAO have to write.
No. Because
by the way,
as cool as the DAO is, like
that headdress that I sent is actually a legendary item. I'm getting a lot of upvotes right now on that, but that is a legendary. That's going to be available to pairs that are general and higher. So hold on, let me get the one of the items that are coming out on the supply crates. I think everyone's going to laugh. I'm not going to say what it is, but I want people to jump in and say who it is, what it is based off of. Give me a minute.
Leo, I got a question. If you don't care.
What's up, bro?
Not much. Is everything going to change with Burn? Like the Burn token?
No, not everything. The what's going to change is pretty much like the direction that we wanted to go, and like the marketing strategy behind it, and kind of like, you know, obviously like the idea that it was launched with was to kind of like help other projects become deflationary, as well as like it being the most deflationary token on the planet. But we very quickly like realized like, hey, you know, like we can't trust other projects to kind of like be ethical. Like the only people we know and can trust are ourselves. You know, like especially like in Web3, like people will do anything for handouts here and there. Like so we realized like, you know, as cool as it would be to like help burn other projects, it would just be a very quick way for us to actually go through the funds there, and just like we'll be burning money for no reason. So we just decided to kind of like revamp the idea of how we want Burn to kind of like grow as a project. And I think we're doing a pretty good job with the ideas that we've came up with, and I think you guys will like it too, because it actually gives it more of a meaning and more of a purpose than what it was originally brought to life with. Because obviously when it was brought to life in an extremely bullish market with different circumstances. But as like reality hit and as like the bear market settled in, we kind of like took a step back, let off the gas, and we were like, okay, let's rethink this. Let's kind of like have a grand reopening, not like a relaunch. The tokens are still going to be the same. Contract is going to remain the same. But the thing that's changing is like the direction of growth that we wanted to take, and the route that we wanted to kind of like succeed in, right?
Yeah, that sounds good. It would be neat to have something like a relaunch, but not quite, you know, some kind of something to bring people in, you know.
Oh yeah, we have a lot of the capital that we have associated with the Burn token is quite sizable. So we're going to be able to actually make some really big noise with the plan going forward. And I think it'll tie very well in. It's always been a sister token with ShibaDoge. So it's going to be very interesting what happens in the coming weeks, months. But it's let's just say there are projects that are starting with not even one hundredth of the capital that we have to go in and push burn to the new heights.
Yeah, definitely, man. We have a lot of resources that we're going to be able to use into the growth of the development, growth, marketing, all of that of Burn. So I think it's in a really good spot. And I always call it a sleeping giant. And the reason why I say that is because I love Burn. I love what it stands for, and I love what I just love everything about it. The name, the website, the look, the supply, like everything about it is appealing to me. And that it's what I look for when I'm looking for tokens, and I feel like a lot of people think alike, and I think we can appeal to a big audience of people out there. So yeah, man, I think Burn is going to be a banger.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate everything.
For sure.
Leo, did you see the quick drop of one of the supply crate items?
Oh yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Did people guess it? Let's see.
Of course, one.
Yeah.
Of course, Kaz got it.
Yeah.
No surprises at all.
Hey, what was being guessed on? What was being guessed?
They're trying to guess what the trait was that Alex posted, which is the crazy hair. And
okay.
Kaz, can you guess that it's a Sam Bankman-Fried trait?
Oh, that's a good one. That's perfect.
Awesome. That's going to be so. With the supply crate, there's going to be a lot of trendy items. So a lot of what you're going to get when you breed are going to be more driven around the lore and the universe of Shibadoge. But with the supply crate, there's going to be things like the Robin Hood hat, which is, I mean, for anyone that uses Robin Hood, right? Just really big fun things like the kitchen sink the sink that Elon Musk brought into Twitter as an item. It's going to be very cool. So hopefully we'll be able to drop some sneak peeks in here in the next coming days.
We should have a Chinese spy balloon background.
No, please put that. See, this is why we need the Reddit, because I literally had that written in my notes as like, we definitely need the Chinese spy balloon.
Wait. Did you hear the news today, guys? The balloon that we shot 2 Sidewinder missiles at and dispatched the F-22 Raptor to shoot down was a 10-year-old kid's $12 balloon.
I'm not surprised.
Just in not that long ago. I had a buddy going, you won't believe this.
I heard it cost $50 million to shoot that balloon down.
Minimum, absolutely.
Welcome to America. Children's balloons get shot down for $1 million.
Classic.
Oh man, my headset just died, guys. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm now on my laptop speaker.
Someone's asking, are we allowed to make posts on Reddit?
Yeah, of course. Look, anything we share in here is all public information. You guys can post it anywhere you want.
I'm not asking, are we allowed to make posts on Reddit? Like make them?
Oh, yeah. You are. Anybody is allowed to make posts on Reddit. As long as you have a Reddit account, it should allow you to.
Yep, I made my first post on Reddit ever. Shibadoge to the moon, baby. That's a good idea, Leo. I like that.
Thank you.
Leo, did you share this? I think the Germans released the balloon too.
What was that, Alex?
I said I heard the Germans launched a balloon as well, a spy balloon. Did you share that with the community?
No, I didn't know. Oh, no. Yeah, I do know. I know what you sent me. Yeah. I didn't share it, but if you have it on hand, we should share it. The German spy balloon.
interestingly enough, they haven't shot this one down.
Well, it's not over America. That's why.
That's funny, dude. Can you imagine that just in the sky? Like I would crack up if I saw that.
I would.
Yeah.
It needs to be. Yo, why didn't we launch our own spy balloon?
Well, I think it's time for Shibadoge to launch a massive Shibadoge balloon and see if we can get it shot down.
Yeah, and say it says not made in China, we promise.
Yo, the crazy thing is that would probably skyrocket us to like $2 billion market cap, but then we'd probably be in jail for doing that too. Invading U.S. airspace.
That's a valid point.
Well, we said we're not made in China, we promise. I mean, like, we did.
Hey man, that's not a bad idea. That's a good way to go viral, to be honest.
Yeah, you're not about to drop like that's going to get us to $2 billion market cap and not execute on that. So, hold on, bud. I'm going to continue dropping EFTs, and you go figure that out.
You got everybody thinking now. Boom.
Yeah, right. Everyone, if we all put our minds together, we can launch the biggest balloon ever. But we just all need to focus.
Let's do it. Let's do it, guys.
Let's do it. And if anything, Roof will take all the blame for it, right?
Yeah,
right,
we'll launch it from here. I'll take the blame. No problem.
Yeah.
I'll do it, man. I'll do it. I'll take one for the team. You know?
I don't doubt it, bro. Ooh, look at that one. That EFT is my favorite, dude. The wizard wand.
Wow.
I remember being on the phone with you, and you're like, "We need a wizard wand," and I'm like, "What do you mean a wizard wand?" You're like, "A wizard wand," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" You go, "A wizard wand." I'm like, "Okay, fine." So then you sent me this description of it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, I did send you a description for it.
And it's an epic item, so it will be an epic item.
Let's go.
Nice.
So the cool thing is, guys,
it's kind of funny teasing these out because we're seeing which ones are like. I thought the 888 trucker hat would do better, but it didn't do as hot as the headdress.
I think people like the equipable stuff in the hands the most. Like the weapons. Like whenever I played like Call of Duty and stuff, like I would never care what my character looked like, but I would always care about like the weapon. Like I'd be like, oh, I want the coolest looking skin on my weapon or whatever. I feel like a lot of people think that same way, but all of
why don't we make a Shibadoge Fortnite?
This is a Leo band. This is official. He demanded that this was included in the collection. I don't know why. I don't know why you made this an absolute must-have. But
that's a good thing to take out your wife with or something. Did I say that? Shoot.
More like his wife is taking him out with that.
There you go.
You're a wizard, Harry.
An egg cracker.
Nice. That is cool. We got 1 minute left, and it's gonna be 2 hours. I think we should do the 2 hours.
I think it's been longer than it's been 2 hours since we started recording.
Since like on YouTube it's saying exactly 1 minute 59 right now. There we go. So last time you said we're gonna do 2 hours, and there we go. 2 hours.
There we go.
I'm dropping one more. This is Peter's favorite. He made sure that this was included in the collection.
Nice.
This was his.
Alex, you should come often, man. You should come often and drop these. Nice.
I come recently, but when I come.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. When you come hard, bro.
Keep it going into
Hands with you guys.
it's Fahad's hat.
Leo gave him that name, Santa Claus. He was so confused, man. I'm like, he's like, what's going on? I go, yo, bro, you Santa Claus now. You know that, right? He goes, what do you mean? I go and look at your name, bro.
Yeah, I gave him that name because he was giving away gifts for Christmas. He was sending people like $50 for playing that game with him. So I was like, he's like Santa Claus.
Yeah, man. That's nice. A lot of stuff, man, going on in the background, guys. See? Look at all this bullish stuff. All these EFTs they're making. It's crazy.
We definitely wanted things to be out a lot sooner, but realistically, like it takes time to build things and do it in a way where it's like quality, right? Like we could have done it half-assed and had it out months ago, but we like to take our time. We like to do things right, and especially with something as big as this, where we believe that it could shape the future in a way and kind of like set a new standard of how people interact with NFTs. We wanted to make sure we do it right. So a lot of times the delays are for good reason. Well, not a lot of times, every time. If we ever have a delay, it's for good reason. And especially in this case, we're bringing something huge out, and I think it's going to be. I think everyone's expectations are going to be exceeded with the way we're able to scale this, and the way where we're introducing new products, weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever, and are able to kind of incorporate different marketing angles with these items as well, and bring more light to our community and our project with the EFTs to begin with. So we're gonna kill it.
Oh yeah. Let's see. So where's the sandals? Do we have a sandal? Leo's sandals?
No, we don't, because you can't see their feet, right? You can't see their feet, but
you can make it a primary weapon. I mean,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We could use it as like a primary weapon. Where
go to Reddit. We need all the ideas possible. That's gonna be great. I mean, we've got. I mean, what is it? 220 items that we have between backgrounds, furs, auras, primary weapons, secondary weapons. So
yeah,
I'll set up. I would love to see some actual community grown traits, and we have some room within the smart contract to actually make it known that it's a community trait. So that would be, I think, possibly some of the coolest stuff is to like have, like, we need a roof trait. I'm declaring this now. We need a roof trait, and it's gonna be like it's going to be some kind of like a headphone or something to signal that he's just never off his phone and always. It's like maybe a VC, a shirt, one of one.
Hey, you know what would be a cool ass trait, Alex? Like if the background, it's a background trait, and the background is like a picture of Earth from space, and like on the Earth, on the piece of land, you see a QR code that leads to our website.
Yeah.
The world's largest. So we did the world's largest QR code as an EFT.
Exactly.
That'd be good.
Oh man. People are still asking, man, where's the world's QR code? Where is it, bro?
Yeah, exactly. We'll show them the NFT. We'll be like, you can see it from space.
There was a lot of complications with the world's largest QR code. I'm not gonna lie.
No, if we had
a lot of complications.
We were close to actually being able to figure it out.
Investment. It was $4 million or something like that. The last time we got a quote.
Oh my god!
No, it was way more.
They were like, okay, we're going to tiles, and we're going to.
That was the $4 million was just for the material alone, and then that wasn't even. They didn't even calculate the labor.
What?
Oh, there was no labor. It was gonna be you and me just digging holes. God forbid we get Peter out to dig a couple holes too.
Oh my God, bro! No, that would have that would have been north of like at least $10 million to get that to get that put in place. But the thing is,
it's still on the agenda. It's still on the roadmap. Nobody said that we're not doing it. It's just we gotta figure out how we're going to do it.
I remember somebody was actually like hitting us up. I don't know if they're still in our community or not. I don't remember exactly who it was, but they were like, "Oh, I have a plot of land in like Canada or something. You guys could come use that. I don't care."
Yeah, you did that. I remember that offer. Yeah.
Good, but just the tiles alone, because they recommend doing it with tiles. So they said use white and black tiles, and oh my God, just the tile cost alone was insane.
Yeah,
It's just not. It was like if we did that, we'd be done.
Yep.
We get better results from doing a spy balloon.
Whose idea was it? Was it your idea?
Who do you think?
Originally, who came up with the idea?
KFC. KFC originally came up with the idea.
Oh yeah, you're right. KFC did.
Kentucky Fried Chicken did, dude, and then I got inspired by them.
All right, okay. So Leo, it was Leo's idea, eh?
You think I would come up with an idea that expensive? Every idea this guy has is expensive.
Well, Leo, man, definitely thinks out of the box. Yeah.
But think about it. For a fraction of the cost, we could launch a spy balloon and get much more attention.
Mm-hmm.
And even if we don't get attention, at least we'll get information. We'll spy on like whatever we want to spy on, right?
Oh yeah, I'm with you on that.
I'll bring right above Roof's house.
Yeah, I'll shoot it down. Yeah, we'll shoot it. We'll get it
with a BB gun.
With a water gun. We should definitely do that. I think it's a great idea. Why don't we do it? For real?
I don't know if we'll do that. I don't know.
Leo, that's on you, man. I'm muting, man.
I think Leo's the man.
I can confidently say that I'll think hard about it tonight, but I don't know. I doubt we're doing that.
Yeah.
We might do it in the metaverse, though.
Oh man, yeah, that would be great, though, man. A Shibadoge air balloon. That would be sick.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I'm actually really hungry, so I'm gonna go grab some food. We did get some good questions, but we'll see you guys on Monday's AMA for more questions. Regardless, like I was saying earlier, let's continue to use the Reddit. Let's continue to grow it. Let's build a community there. I'll sign off with the message that we always give. If you miss Doge, that sucks. If you miss Shiba, that also sucks. If you miss ShibaDoge, then you might as well be a Russian spy balloon, because we're going to shoot you down because you suck. All right.
Catch you later.
What's up, Alex? You said something?
No, I was saying, nice twist there. Have a good night. Have a good morning, wherever it is you are. Take care.
Love you guys. Have a good one. Peace.
Love, peace.
Peace out, boys. Thank you very much for the